Hey everyone, it's Friday Morning Movie Reviews. I'm Louis Angel.
I'm Nathan CK.
It's going to be one of the last videos of the year.
Right.
We've seen a lot of movies together. We've seen like 175, 180.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of movies this year. Thankfully, we did not see that many horrible movies.
Right. It was a year where
we missed a lot of bad stuff, I think.
We missed some bad stuff.
We did not see Transformers.
Right.
Geostorm, the Snowman.
Oh yeah, the Snowman.
I wanted to see the Snowman just out of morbid curiosity. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we didn't see, so it's going to be a very different worst list.
Right.
Than most people.
Right.
So how it's going to work is I'm going to do my 10, he's going to do his 10, 9. And if we have the same movie, obviously, we're going to jump in together.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Yes, I'll go.
Oh, do you have any dishonorable mentions for the worst movie of 2017?
I only have one.
Okay.
And that's Fate of the Fast.
I did not see this movie.
And we all know it. Hopefully, it's the last one. Probably won't be the last one, but
I haven't seen it. I'll watch when they go to space. I'll watch that one.
Oh yeah,
probably the Flight of the Furious. All right, your number 10.
So that's mine. Number 10, folk hero and funny guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a terrible.
It wasn't terrible. I do unfortunately forget who was in it. But it was
Kurt Russell's son is in it.
Right. And basically it's like a travel trip down south.
If it was just folk hero, I don't think you would have minded it. But because Funny Guy was in it, and he wasn't funny,
right? Yeah,
Okay.
it was kind of like what's going on here? It's like a comic trying to start up his own gig, and then
I have two dishonorable mentions. One of them is Seen in the Rain. I know this movie came out like 60 years ago, but I watched it this year at Cinemark. Has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I hated it. I think it's a horrible movie. I think it's stupid. My second dishonorable mention is most disappointing movie of the year for me that I thought would be so great, and that's Kingsman 2: The Golden Circle.
That would have been on mine. I didn't see that.
You didn't see it. This movie, it's not good at all. Don't watch it. And Matthew Vaughn, I think, takes a hit.
Yeah, he's only good at
he shouldn't do sequels.
No sequels.
My number 10 is a movie I just watched very recently. It's the Netflix film Bright. This movie's pretty stupid with the orcs and I get what you're going for, but I know you're trying to say something really serious, but it's so hard to take any of this seriously when it just looks so stupid. Remarkably, there is one scene that works, and it works so well. You're like, my God, everything else is just terrible.
And the soundtrack for that movie is supposed to. I heard it's really good.
And David Ayer is on his third bad film in a row with Sabotage, Suicide Squad, and Bright. So Bright's my number 10.
And then my number 9 is Valerian. Oh man, Valerian. What is it?
The city of a
thousand names or whatever. I don't. Oh gosh, man! Watching that, it was very painful.
It was painful, wasn't it?
For some reason, I just talked to my mother the other day, and she was like, "Oh, have you seen this awesome movie?" And I was like, "What is it called?" And then she's like, "Oh, I think it was like the 1,000 Planets or something." I was like, "No,
not that one." My number 9 is American Assassin. One of the worst things you can do in a movie is bore me. And I was so bored by this movie. Dylan O'Brien stars Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton couldn't save this thing. It's like a really bad Jack Ryan movie. Yeah, so it's
like a little shooter-esque-ish.
Yeah, it's like So number 9, American Assassin. Worst of the year.
Number 8, Kong Skull Island.
Okay.
Going from the original and
with the original or
the original.
So the 1933 one,
and then even the Peter Jackson one.
I like the Peter Jackson.
Yeah, I liked it too. I mean, you have like 2 hours on the ship, but even with this one starting something new, you are continuing the Godzilla and
King Kong
about
universe.
to fight each other. And
Wow.
stuff. I
That's your
go
number
back
9?
to that review. Listen to what I said about it. I don't think it was that great, but I really liked the.
Peter Jackson one's a great movie if you skip the first hour.
Right, but I mean, there's just like
Wow.
just didn't,
And that's your number 9?
That's my number 8.
Okay. My number 8 is The Foreigner. This is sold as a Jackie Chan action movie. It's like him coming out of retirement.
Oh, yeah,
Jackie Chan is barely in the movie. This is a
Really?
Pierce Brosnan movie about like Irish CIA and Irish terrorism, and it's just not the movie we were promised. And I remember at one point, my dad sitting next to me in the theater was like, "That's a stuntman, right?" Like the fact that he was able to point that out just shows the lack of quality and a good director, Martin Campbell. But it was just like, wow, that movie was not good at all. Another really boring movie.
My number 7 is Sleepless, and that was the
Oh, I
That
remember
was
you
the-
talking about this
Jamie
movie.
Foxx
Yeah, I remember
movie.
you talking
It was
about
like
this.
he was a cop.
That came out this year?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
wow.
it did. Yeah, I was surprised going through my list trying to see what was bad and worse. And I
Wow.
was like, oh, all right, this movie. And as much as it tries to make you engaged in the movie and very excited, and it has this message at the end and whatever, and probably going to be a sequel, of course. And it's like, it did like.
Well, good
Didn't
thing,
really mean that much,
Good thing he is able to get Baby Driver in the same year to kind of knock off.
Right.
My number 7 is probably the worst horror movie of the year is Rings. In a year that was really good for horror, this was the worst one. We had great movies like
We did, yes.
Annabelle 2,
Get Out.
Get Out.
Yeah.
Rings has one really good scene on a plane, and after that, it's just so by the numbers and boring, and you know exactly where it's gonna go. The thing I like about it is it's short, so I'd rather watch that than watch Foreigner or American Assassin. Yeah, Rings pretty terrible.
And then another movie you might
You're
not
number
have heard.
6. You're
Number 6. You might not have heard of this movie. It's The Wall.
Oh my god,
and that was
so
with John
bad.
Cena.
Right.
And oh my gosh,
They wanted you
really
to root for
want
the terrorists.
you really right exactly, and that's
John
Spoiler.
Cena's barely in it. Yeah,
And-
spoiler. I don't care.
it's like why now I should like feel good at the end of this
Yeah.
movie or something, like what.
It was just such a dumb
Like,
idea.
how dare you? Like,
Yeah.
that was a complete shot to our troops and whatever.
Yeah.
It was very stupid.
My number 6 is Valerian.
you
Rihanna,
didn't push down.
Rihanna is not an actress, right? She's a singer. She's great at what she does.
Right.
But what does it say about your movie when Rihanna's performance is the best thing in the movie?
Yes,
Dane DeHaan and Cara Delevingne had absolutely no chemistry with each other.
definitely.
Dane DeHaan's supposed to be like the greatest soldier of all time. You don't buy that. It's just a terrible movie.
He's like a kid or something.
And the effects are just not, they're so cheesy, and Valerian's bad movie.
Yeah, very bad. Number 5, A Ghost Story. This
Okay.
also had raving reviews. I'm going at a lot of like indie films.
Yeah, good.
But I remember watching a review for this film, and he was like, "Yeah, this is such a great film. Really, it's like The Lobster." That movie from last.
God, I
that
hated
was
The
like my
Lobster.
number 2 or something.
I didn't see Killing of a Sacred
I
Deer.
hated that movie.
Yeah.
And you have these reviewers try to come up with like, oh, this is the
Well,
greatest love story of all time.
If other
Like, is
people like it,
are you sure?
if other people like it, that's great. I'm happy they liked it. But obviously you did not.
Right, and there's just like these hidden messages in the movie where you're like, oh yeah, right, like that ghost from the right
Story.
there. He's trying, and then, oh gosh.
My number 5 is a terrible movie that doesn't know what it wants to be, doesn't know what tone it wants,
Right.
and part of it you're like, okay, did it jump to this kind of movie? And now it wants to be a video game? King Arthur, Legend of the Sword is an awful movie. I think I left halfway through to get ice cream and then walked back in, but it's just so terrible. No, it's just Guy Ritchie's direction is what made the movie bad, because the movie doesn't know if it wants to be this Lord of the Rings type thing,
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, or wants to be like Snatched. Snatch, that's a different movie. The Amy Schumer movie. It's just awful all around.
Going to number 4, It Comes at Night.
Didn't see it.
I was really excited for this movie. I thought it was
So is it your most disappointing?
definitely disappointing as far as our top 10. But just what was scary about it, there's nothing really scary about it. And then when you find out what
comes at night?
It's like,
Really?
oh, it comes at night to my house every day.
It's a bad neighborhood.
For everyone. Like, it's not really like...
My number 4 is wanted to start off the Dark Universe, and I love me some Tom Cruise, but The Mummy is a terrible movie. It's so worried about world building, and oh look, Russell Crowe's gonna be this guy. Oh look, the Swamp Thing's hand is in this jar. It's awful. Sophia Boutella is in the movie. She's trying to do what she can, but there's just no saving The Mummy.
Number 3 is Martin Scorsese's movie Silence.
You put a Scorsese movie.
I did. Silence. Adam Driver, Liam Neeson.
You would rather watch Valerian again than watch Silence.
Andrew Garfield. This had a lot going for it,
Wow,
and you're watching it, and you're really like, I just want to leave right now. Can you let me leave now?
Wow.
And you're there for, again, like 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 40 minutes.
Wow.
And it doesn't get anywhere.
Your list is shocking.
It's really bad.
I'm
it's
very
really
surprised.
bad. And I'm surprised at Scorsese for making this
What are you calling out?
junk.
My number 3.
Taking my $8.
You already talked about it. I think it's the most boring movie of the year. One of the most boring movies I've ever seen. It's A Ghost Story.
Yeah.
There's not much more I can add than what you did. Like, looking for depth and meaning when I really don't think it's there.
Yeah.
It's boring.
Yeah.
So number 2.
Number 2, Life.
Oh yeah, the Alien ripoff.
Yes.
I thought about putting it on my list, but
Ryan Gosling. No, not Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Reynolds. Jake Gyllenhaal. Rebecca Ferguson.
Yes.
It's
Alien movie, along with George Clooney. What was that? Where he's in space.
Gravity?
Gravity, yeah. So it's like Gravity with aliens. You just like...
Except nowhere near as good.
Nowhere near as good.
No.
And then another ending where you're like, oh,
the
great.
The easiest ending they could have gone for.
Right.
My number 2 is Tyler Perry's Boo 2.
Oh.
I don't even know if you can call this a movie. It's so lazily made. There's just no...
Yeah, it's just exactly how the first one was, right?
And, oh my, the
like
acting
same
is
jokes.
absolutely horrendous. No one's trying. This thing was made because the first one made money. It's not funny. This movie's for no one, really, because it's just an awful movie. We have the same number 1.
Number 1.
Well, let's say it together. 50 Shades Darker is the worst movie of the year. I'm going to repeat what I said from the review. I remember at one point in the movie, I was like this, and I looked over, and you were like that. This is just...
Oh, gosh.
Writing gone wrong.
Yeah. You know, and we know what's going to be number 1 worst next year, too. So.
Yeah.
Just keep making them. They'll keep being number 1
if
worst.
the first 2 are any indication at all, 50 Shades Darker, there's nothing good in the movie at all.
50 Shades, free us,
free us, please. Remember watching another one of these movies. All right, guys, so that's our top 10 worst of the year.
Top 10 worst.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Definitely, and wait for our best.
Wait for our best.